Just how bad is the situation in the eurozone? So bad that even the president of the European Central Bank isn't so optimistic. Mario Draghi says the EU is at a crucial moment in its history and that the debt crisis has demonstrated the bloc's weakness. The comments come after a grim economic outlook heightened tensions in the eurozone. Investors are looking for a safety net in Germany as fears of a Greece exit from the single currency bloc rose. To make things worse, Wednesday's EU summit in Brussels failed to produce any remedies for the crisis. A May survey of eurozone business confidence showed the sharpest monthly fall for nearly 3 years. To discuss that a bit further, we're joined by Mr. Simon Dixon, author of Bank to the Future, and he is also the founder of banktothefuture.com, who's joining us now via Skype from London. Mr. Dixon, thank you very much for joining us. Now, there's not much optimism coming from the side of EU leaders recently, either on Greece or on the bloc as a whole. Are they reflecting what many have said, that the EU quote-unquote experiment has turned out to be a failure?
I think that's exactly what we're seeing right now. We're seeing the unfolding of the euro experiment. We're seeing a lot of people that want to keep hold of it. We're seeing a lot of people that don't know what's going to happen if countries do exit the euro. But I think what we're seeing is the inevitable unfold and the experiment fail.
Right, you know, Germany is long being looked at as a stable economy, yet of recent it too is losing confidence amongst investors. What's changed?
Well, what we're seeing right now is an appetite not to lend to governments. When you're seeing credit ratings downgraded across Europe, now while Germany is in a very strong position, it's still, its economy is still dependent upon its partners in Europe and being dragged down with it, essentially. So what you're seeing right now across Europe is governments focusing on financial management and how to find new markets for their debt instead of actually focusing on what they're meant to be doing, which is fixing their countries.
Right, and so going back to my first question, Mr. Dixon, if we can, if this EU experiment really has failed, then what more is to come then for the EU as a bloc?
Well, it's a painful thing to for the countries to go off and rebuild their own economies and rebuild their own currencies, but it's something that is inevitable and something that does have to happen. So we're going to see. It's much like if someone's been on heroin for years. We've been on this debt heroin for years, and in order to come off that, it's going to be painful. There's going to be some turbulence in that, but it doesn't mean that you don't do that, because we now need to rebuild, and we all need to build our own countries based upon the correct fiscal and monetary policies that our own country needs in order to stabilize those currencies and the economies.
All right, we'll have to leave it there for now. That was Mr. Simon Dixon, author of Bank to the Future and also founder of banktothefuture.com, speaking to us via Skype from London. Mr. Dixon, we do appreciate your insight here on Press TV.